James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4 says, "My friends, consider yourself fortunate when all kinds of trials come your way, for you know that when your faith succeeds in facing such trials, the result is the ability to endure. Make sure that your endurance carries you all the way without failing, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." And that was James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. That was out the Good News translation, but I'm going to post the Amplified version on the screen because I felt like that was more simple and in detail for you to understand. And I was reading a devotional, and it was talking about how not only does God's gifts come in the form of like material things or, blessings or, physical, tangible things, but that God's gifts can also come in the form of, trials and troubles and difficulty. And I was kind of lost, like, what? And the Holy Spirit helped me to understand, like, say like if you give your child a gift, it wasn't something they asked for, but you knew it was something they needed. And your child opened up the gift and was like, I didn't ask for that. I didn't want that. Like, what I'm going to do with this? But you knew it was something they would need, whether it was now or like later on. And it's like the same thing with God when it comes to, our troubles, our problems being gifts. Because when we go through things, that's going to help us lean on God all the more, because we can't get through the trials we face in life on our own, because it will really crush us just as it does now. But we get all our strength from the Lord. But think about if you don't know the Lord and you always do take matters in your own hands, you will be weighed down, stressed out all the time, always dependent on yourself. But we need to learn to depend on God when it comes to the things that we face in this life. Because God, just because we follow Christ doesn't mean we are exempted from troubles. God never promised that we wouldn't go through anything, okay? What we go through, we also grow through the Holy Spirit. What we go through, we also grow through. But what we go through also helps us to rely on God and Him alone. Yeah, like all of God's gifts does not come with a pretty little red bow on top. It's just not like that. But the troubles we face, it's like we need to change our perspective. Even though it's hard at the time to do so, we have to change our perspective and just, ask the Lord, what is it you want me to understand, receive? Or how is this situation going to help me grow, knowing that something good is going to come out of it, okay? Whether, it's spiritual or physical, something good is going to come out of it, okay? And also, too, the difficulty we face is also to help us, to build us up into who God has called us to be. So right here it says, many troubles we face seem random and wrong, and we question God, asking Him, why me? Why now? What good can come out of this? And it's okay to be real with God and ask Him that, but just know the Lord will answer. Not only will He answer, He will show you what good, can come out of it, what He's doing, during that time. And you got to look closely at what God is doing, what He's trying to show you, okay? But also remembering that God is sovereign over everything. That means He rules over all things. So that means your hardships and pain, He can use it for good, but you have to trust Him in that, okay? In Romans chapter 8, verse 28, it says that, and God works all things out for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose, all right? So we can learn something from every problem we face, allowing them to transform us, equip us, and strengthen us into becoming better servants of Christ and who God created us to be. God does not promise to remove our problems, but His wisdom is more than enough to bring us out of them. Okay, so understand that when you're faced with a situation, no matter how rough, how hard it may be, understand your storms, thank the Holy Spirit, your storms, God never promised to bring you out of, He never promised to remove the storm. He never promised to remove the problem, but He does promise to be with us in it and help us through it for us to come out stronger on the other side. So I pray that was encouragement for somebody today, and understand that your troubles, your trials, your difficulty are gifts from God. Okay, change your perspective. They are gifts from God. So we can learn how to rely and lean on Him and only Him.